Good morning, everyone, and we are on the home stretch. And so I just wanted to talk a little bit about questions about how to present your oral presentation. There are a number of different ways that you can do that, so I want to address that with this video. But before we do that, just wanted to show you, look at how close you guys are to finishing up. You are literally down to these last 2 weeks, week 14 and week 15. This week you're going to be finishing up your team presentation and submitting that. And then the only thing you have left is that team and self-evaluation, and we will talk more about that next week, or maybe a video a little bit later this week to let you know what all is involved with that. So let's just talk quickly about your team presentation. It is a virtual presentation, so let me talk to you about all the ways that that can be submitted. Back a few weeks ago on week 11, which is back here, we talked a lot about business presentations. Go back and look at that PowerPoint. There's lots of great tips in there about how to present, and reminding you about how you want to make sure you give a preview of what you're going to be talking about and then talk about it. And then, of course, summarizing the main points that you made, as well as some great tips in there about putting together your PowerPoint. This is also where you picked your topic. The list is in here, and this is where you submitted that and submitted kind of like a rough outline. So just in case there's somebody there or a team that missed it. I don't believe I had any in this section that missed that, but just in case. All right, so what am I wanting for this team presentation? So you're going to be putting together for your visual aid a PowerPoint. That PowerPoint needs to be at least 10 slides, and it needs to be, when presented, somewhere between 5 and 7 minutes is a sweet spot. We used to do 10 to 15, and I felt like there were a lot of teams that ended up being very redundant and just kind of rambling at the end because it was just a little too much time for these topics, or at least for the main ones that typically get picked. And so I cut that back. So 5 to 7, even if you go upwards of right at 10 minutes, you're going to be okay. But I find that most groups really right around that 7-minute mark is where they achieve the best presentation, I feel like, where they kind of just get the meat of it done and they're not really going into a lot of redundancy. Every team member must present. So whatever you decide to do, whatever method that we talk about in just a minute that you choose to present through, make sure that everybody in the team has a chance to present. So here are a number of ways that you can do that, that you can put this together. Many teams, I feel like probably the most common way that I have students do this is that they create their Microsoft PowerPoint, and then on that Microsoft PowerPoint, they embed either an audio of themselves or a video of themselves. So what would happen is basically, everybody has their slides that they're responsible for. Usually the team usually breaks that up and disseminates that. And so let's say Johnny is responsible for the first 2 slides. And so he would create those slides, which eventually maybe the team captain or another person on the team puts all of those into one fluid, one all together PowerPoint. But on those first 2 slides that Johnny prepared, he would attach to that and embed in that either an audio file or a video file. That is very easy to do on PowerPoint. If you have any problems or you've never done that, please get in touch with me. It's also something that you can Google, and on YouTube you will see a variety of different very short videos that come up that will help you with that. So I feel like that's probably the most common way that I have students submit this virtually. I also have groups that will, because they're pretty close in proximity, or the college is kind of like a middle meeting ground, that they will actually come to the college, find a room in the library or an available classroom, and they literally set up their phone and they video themselves presenting in a classroom. And that's perfect. And then they just upload that to YouTube and then send me the link. Another thing that I have students do is they will do a Zoom call, and they all will take turns presenting their 2 slides, so that they'll share the screen and they'll move from one presenter to the next, and they'll present via Zoom, and they record that. And then again, they send me the link for that. Sometimes they will schedule a Zoom meeting with me, and you can schedule a Zoom with me. We'll start the Zoom. I'll turn it over to you guys. You present. Each person takes their turn presenting their 2 slides and sharing the screen, and then I'm just there and I'm a part of the Zoom call. For that, you would need to make an appointment. Probably the best time to do that would be either this Wednesday in the afternoon, or also on this coming Monday. So a week from today, I could do that as well, or next Wednesday. And so those are the days that I'm typically in most of my office hours, but I could actually work around that too if need be. So a Zoom meeting that you record that I'm not a part of, or you can invite me to a Zoom meeting. And then the final way is not so much virtual. Of course, you've worked on completing this virtually because you're online. But I have had groups that are just here and around here, and they want to actually come in and present live. And so that's also a thing that you could do if you want to. And again, that would probably need to happen this coming Wednesday, or I could even extend for you, and you could do it if you know you're going to be coming in person next Monday, which would be the 25th, or the 27th on Wednesday. But for a Zoom for me to be a part of, or for you to come in and present live, those you would need to make an appointment for, because it is getting close to the end of the semester and summer is about to kick off. Some of my office hours might have to be modified just a tad this way or that way. So it would not be something you could just pop in. You would need to make that appointment. So those are just a few of the ways that I've had students do it. I'm always having students that come up with another way, and they'll call and say, hey, we think this would work, and what do you think? And a lot of times I'm like, yeah, great, that works. I'm able to get a good read on it if you present that way. So if there's something you have a question about, as always, don't hesitate to send me an email or give me a call, and I'm happy to help in any way that I can. Hopefully this has answered those questions. If not, reach out.